All right, guys, I am back, and here we go with our first 8-minute or less knife review. Today we're going to be looking at the Kershaw NORAD. Now, this is a knife that Kershaw first put out in April 2020. So why are we going to look at an April 2020 knife in 2024? I'll tell you why. This is a knife that I got, I reviewed, I thought it was great. I kind of put it in the collection, I forgot about it. I recently just came across it looking at stuff, and I realized this is a knife that I just really slept on. I should have given it a chance, and I didn't, and I want to tell you about it. I want to give you 3 really good reasons to buy this knife, and 3 reasons why maybe you want to think twice about it. First of all, just doing the general specs, the Kershaw NORAD, they named it after the North American Aerospace Defense Command, Air Force agency, one of my personal favorites. Worked with those guys when I was in the service. They gave it the name because they wanted to give it kind of a sleek 1960s sort of aerospace, aerodynamic, the look of the design of the 50s and 60s. Everything just metal, streamlined, all that kind of stuff. And the name NORAD fit. We've got a 3.3-inch two-tone D2 steel blade, beautiful satin grind lines, and a little midsection with a DLC coating. Overall, 7.9 inches, bit of a hefty guy, coming in at 5.2 ounces, and that is because we've got all steel construction with little carbon fiber inlays on this steel frame lock knife. When I found it sitting in the collection, I just picked it up and gave it a little flick, and I said, wow, this thing feels good. I went back to look at where I got it from. It came to us in the Monthly Knife Club Ultimate Box in October 2022, and in that review I said this is a carry-worthy knife, and it is. It feels good. It's just really well made. It's affordable. You can still get it. It's discontinued, but this thing is on eBay. This thing is on Amazon. It's not that expensive, so it's still out there even though it's discontinued. But that also means that as it sells, there's no more of them being made. So it's the kind of thing where if you want to jump on, you want to jump on it, and you want to get them before they go. Deep carry clip, reversible left or right tip-up carry. Another great feature that I love, they worked in with this flipper, which, by the way, it's a light switch only flipper. If you try to push button, it is not going to work for you. But the flipper, they designed it real slim so that when you use it, it just disappears right into the handle of the knife, so you don't have anything protruding out. That's awesome. The carbon fiber is kind of a laminate carbon fiber, so it's not a real big chunk. I'm not crazy about the glossy sort of varnish they put on it, but it is kind of a nice design. The blade, right out of the box, is beautiful, ready to go, nice and sharp, great drop point blade, lots of blade surface with this curved belly for EDC, whatever you want to do with it. So here's 3 reasons why you might want to jump on this knife while you still can. Number 1, this knife is a tank. It's all steel construction, it's put together really well. This knife is not going to fall apart on you at all. You can put it through its paces. If it falls out of your pocket, if you drop it while you're using it, if you bang it into something, this is going to survive. It's a real workhorse of a knife. Number 2, the action on this thing is beautiful. It is slick, it is solid, it's got KVT bearings in there, and like I said, that flipper action is awesome. Nice solid lockup sound. It's the kind of thing that I found myself, as soon as I got my hands back on it, just fidgeting with. Beautiful, smooth action. And number 3, it's got a great price for what you're getting. So I looked around. On eBay, you will find some people that want ridiculous prices for it, but on Amazon and on eBay, you're gonna pay somewhere in the neighborhood of $40, $41, $42. And for what you pay when you get that price for this knife, well worth it. In my mind, it puts it right in the budget-friendly category. You're getting a great knife for the money. 3 reasons why you might want to think twice about this knife. Number 1, well, we got to address the weight. At over 5 ounces, a lot of people might find this pretty heavy for an EDC knife. A lot of people want their EDC carry to be about half this weight, but again, we're dealing with all steel construction on the handle and the blade, so that might turn some people off. Number 2, it is not always big hand friendly. Because you have this big steel frame lock and a relatively short clip, you may run into the problem where if you have big hands, when you go to open it, Your fingers could press on this, on the lock bar here, which could result in you pressing on the detent and causing you to kind of have problems opening that. It takes a little practice sometimes with a knife like this to keep your fingers in the right orientation, but if you get it and your fingers are positioned right, you don't have any problems. But to some people, that's a bit of an inconvenience and you might not want to deal with it. And number 3, even though I think the blade on it is beautiful, it is D2 steel, that's a high carbon steel. For EDC purposes, some people might not want to deal with the extra maintenance that goes along with a high carbon steel. This will rust. It's summertime, it's in your pocket, sweat evaporates through your pants, it's going to get a little bit humid. I think the ideal EDC steel would be a stainless type steel, but D2 is really good in my opinion. At one point it was considered a premium steel. It's going to hold an edge real well, it's going to survive a lot of use for you, but yeah, you gotta wipe it down now and then. You gotta keep it clean and dry. If that's the kind of thing that's going to bug you, you might not want to look into this knife. Overall, I'm really happy that I rediscovered this knife. I'm a little upset with myself for just sort of putting it away and not giving it a real good carry chance earlier. You can find it, it's out there, it's not hard, even though it's discontinued. I would definitely encourage you guys to think of my 3 and 3, decide if it's right for you. If it is, grab one while they're still there. So anyway, 8 minutes or less, tell me what you guys think. Tell me your thoughts on it. If you already have one, are you happy with it? Would you recommend it, or maybe you wouldn't? Maybe there's a real important key thing that I should have mentioned for either side of the scale. What do you guys have to add? Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Tell me what you think of this format. Remember that you guys are all absolutely awesome. I appreciate every single one of you, and I'll be back again real soon.